Hi, everyone. My name is Soo Jin, a Sharon Rose Master and partner with the best global online platform opportunity for anyone looking to upgrade their future. And today I just want to share with you my personal experience with Atomy culture and hopefully convey to you how you can go from the life that you have now to the life that you really desire. So a couple of fun facts about me is that one, I'm a busy mom of 3 young kids. They're the same age and think that they want to be future YouTubers. However, my extent of technology know-how is limited to being just a happy online shopper, just like many of you ladies out there, and probably men as well. And secondly, I'm part of the Generation X and a 1.5 generation Korean American. And lastly, I have over 20 years experience in the financial investment banking industry. So let's get started. So you may ask why I am here. I would be known as a latchkey kid in the generation that I grew up, the eldest of 3 children being raised by struggling immigrant parents. So what do I mean by that? My parents worked all the time, and my brother and I would come home from school to an empty home and took care of ourselves. And I remember being in the 1st grade, looking around to see no one was watching my brother and I unlock the front door as we came from school. My brother and I were resilient. We made ourselves sandwiches, did our homework, cleaned house, signed our own school permission slips, and waited for our parents to come home from their grueling jobs. And as a latchkey kid and daughter of struggling immigrant parents, I grew up believing that I needed to obtain the highest level career to make up for the great sacrifice my parents made, and also to live a step up from where they came from. So after studying hard and graduating from university, I pursued Wall Street and worked as VP of a large financial institution and actually had a very successful and lucrative career. While I'm incredibly grateful for my career, it came with stress and very long hours, essentially trading my time for money. In my office building, we had a salon, dry cleaners, nurse, free after-hours restaurant, gym, you name it, we had it. And there was no excuse for me to leave the office, and so I rarely did. And after a long day of work, there was a black car that took us home. And my life was my work. And I rode the corporate ladder and I wondered where my life had gone. So in my mid-30s, I came to a realization. Like my parents, I yearned for the quality of life and time to be with my family and pursue worthwhile dreams. You see, my parents had gone from working menial jobs to becoming business owners. And while they're toiled away in their business, they never had time for anything. And I realized as a professional, I was also stuck in a grueling work cycle that prevented me from enjoying my time and pursuing life goals. And then I had a family. Life balance seemed even really harder to achieve. At that point, it became even more clear how much I yearned for time. While I don't believe that money alone is everything, we do need money to do great things. And these days, we need a lot of it. A few years after giving birth to my triplets, I was introduced to Atomy's Him. That is when the door of opportunity opened up for me. I had an aha moment, and I knew I could do Atomy. Not because of my abilities, but because of the core of the marketing plan was equal opportunity. This company was closing the gap between the haves and have-nots. This was really important to me as a Christian, and also because of where I had started from. And as with any viable business, the key component was incredible products, as exemplified by Him. The company played on the middle market by providing quality and good price for the masses. I thought, yes, this makes total sense. And I really never imagined myself in network marketing. I always thought it was for the people who were super outgoing, had wide networks, and natural salespeople. And I was definitely lacking in those areas. I also perceived it as moms making extra spending money for themselves or to pay for their child's ballet class or sports, which there's nothing wrong with. I just didn't think that you could really make big money. So it wouldn't have been worth it for me to give up a great career. But 3 things made me go all in for Atomy. Number 1, it wasn't a small business. It was a big business. and I saw the potential of making much more than I had. And without the risk of my job disappearing, the risk of economic downturn, or if my health should fail. And I also saw the evidence of true income growth through my sponsor success and through my fellow Atomians, to go from giving a simple product testimony at an Atomy seminar to just a few years later making 100K, 200K, and watching sponsors start from just a basic Atomy system at its start and now making over 300K. The marketing plan wasn't just a PowerPoint or only for those select few talented, lucky ones. I was meeting many people directly that were making it, and I saw it as my turn will come and partners will use me next as inspiration to grow their wealth. Secondly, how much education and time invested in a career would it take to make 300, 400K, and for how long? Right now, there are Royal Leaders Club members making over 200K that took less time, but more importantly, being blessed with that income indefinitely. Would you be making that if you didn't work or one day got sick and could no longer maintain your job? I experienced that vulnerability when my health got weaker after my kids were born. And as much as we would like it, our bodies sometimes don't keep up with our young spirits. And the system of a pipeline where once you work the system will work for you was where the wealthy people were achieving complete financial freedom. So why can't we? And lastly, the products of an Atomy system make it possible for anyone to succeed if they put their work and passion into it. I believed it in so much that I actively worked really hard so I could achieve this passive wealth. I just focused on sharing my experience with the products and saying the same thing over and over again. When you run out of your shampoo, your toothpaste, skincare, try ours. You have nothing to lose except getting healthier and getting more beautiful. Atomy made it easy for me to work without the skills of sales. And the education and support system made up of contributions by members, partners, sponsors, and regional home bases like Atomy America make it possible for all of us to work the system until the system works for us. And how different is the pipeline of residual income flow with Atomy? Well, you can feel good about the way you make money, which is so important in this day and age, because that will lead us to experience a more meaningful success. But what job provides this while giving you the margin of time, especially when we are facing one of the biggest times of unemployment? Times are really difficult for all of us. If you are young and millennial, you might find yourself struggling to enter a tight and competitive workforce. And if you're older, a baby boomer ready to retire and living much longer, you might be wondering if you have enough to live comfortably. And if you're like me, trying to raise a large family, you might wonder how you can pay for college. For myself, that would be 3 all at once. And worry about your children's future in an evolving world where traditional jobs are going away. One thing we have in common cross-generationally is not just the challenges of the recent pandemic, but also keeping up, let alone thriving with the evolution of an automated virtual world. And throughout our history, we have seen companies and pensions and downsize. We have seen our economy go through recessions and major shifts in how we work. It was a progression that we didn't see necessarily because it was done in phases. The world has been changing into the 4th industrial revolution over the decades. It is just more tangible and in your face right now because of current events. And the virtual tech world is changing in a blink of an eye as we speak. Are you ready? Even if you're not, Atomy was. I see Atomy's future like the evolution of South Korea's economy. And as you know, Atomy was originated from South Korea. In 1957, South Korea had one of the lowest GDP, similar to a small country of Ghana. Today, South Korea is ranked 10th in the world with big players like Samsung and LG. But what South Korea did that truly transformed its standing was this. Instead of competing with the world on already established industry, South Korea focused on intentionally crafting its culture and making Korean culture a phenomenon. It is called the Korean Wave or Hallyu. So Korean music and entertainment and beauty is known and sought after globally. This is my niece, surrounded by BTS, Korean pop group dolls given by her Filipino aunt, who is also an Atomy lover. And this is a cartoon show watched by my kids and their friends here in the United States. Little bears speaking Korean. And of course, there's K-drama. I have non-Korean friends that tell me more about K-drama than I even know. Similar to the Korean wave phenomenon, I believe that Hangul Park has created a visionary company based on a culture of mutual growth. Yes, there are many online platform companies out there. They're actually leading the market of the future and making up a large part of the economy. Atomy is an online platform business where you, your partners, and your loyal consumers can benefit from the business. This is totally different from most companies where profits benefits its shareholders. Atomy is intentionally building a sharing culture that promotes a closeness to humanity and goodness. Atomy's culture of service, contribution, synergy of hearts, imagination, and connectivity is blowing up the growth of this company and making it cool to be part of the network marketing company. And people are noticing. This is why the company is breaking through and sprouting in countries all over the world. It is cool to be part of network marketing if it is Atomy. The generation after us will say, wow, our parents were the pioneers of this great Atomy wave, and this genius intentional culture is further embedded in our marketing plan. This is why there's no frills with us, a free membership to be part of this extraordinary shopping club. As someone with a finance background, I loved it. The company didn't inflate their profit margins with starter kits, member fees, and automatic repurchases. The revenue is based on the success of the products and completely consumer satisfaction driven. I knew I could invest my precious time in this company because it wasn't going to disappear. In fact, I could give a leg up to my kids and help build their generation's future, even if I'm no longer alive. So this is beyond the pension plan. Our success in Atomy will transform the lives of the next generation too, a generational breakthrough to change the trajectory of your families. Atomy is changing the lives of many, and it can change yours. Are you doing well? Or are you at a crossroads? Or are you disappointed in the way things are going? I recently hit some lows and disappointments myself. But when we fail or fall is when we really find clarity in what we want. And so this is a time that we can ask God even more passionately for the life of your dreams. And through Atomy, a visionary company that can bring forth your dreams into realization, see it unfold by writing it down. And that is what is called the Atomy's life scenario. And I don't know anyone successful that has not written down their goals and dreams. Not anyone. So write it down like it has already happened for you. That is the key. Your first check with Atomy can either be a savings on products, which is great, or it can transform your life in an impactful way when you work the business. My life has changed and continues to change as I build my business with Atomy, and not just monetarily. An example of my life scenarios coming true and turning into a story that is coming alive is that I wanted to succeed in Atomy so I, along with my family, could do great things, impacting the world. And here we are contributing to an organization, March of Dimes, that has greatly helped out my preemies. Having coffee time, otherwise known as quality time with my kids, the kind that I didn't have much of with my working parents. I wanted also my next career to be something that involved learning together and growing through life with my kids. So Atomy's company motto and the 7 mindsets are taught in my kids' primary school are what I teach and apply to both my kids and my partners. So my business with Atomy is transparent with how I live my life. This is possible with Atomy. So the residual income I'm earning now is worth more than words. It is just something that I can be passionate about. So everything is possible by creating your vision. Do it passionately and follow the faith as we are all connected, and cherish the spirit and be accountable to being a good person. I learned in my past career from a great mentor to always have a mentor or sponsor to look up to obtain wisdom and guidance. Be a mentee for someone that needs your talent and support, and then have someone equal to walk the journey with. So be grateful of the things that you don't have, because it will help you to rise to the top. But be grateful for what you do have, because you have many people you need to pull up. And then be grateful for your blessings, because now you can do great things for many, many people. Make it a habit. And finally, live to give by serving in humility. And finally, again, the time is now. I'm excited to keep writing my life scenario. And I see my partners, sponsors, and fellow Atomians achieve their dreams. It is like a big storybook of many, many human lives changing and achieving their fulfillment. So imagine your story, and as a famous quote says, imagination is everything. It is a preview to life's coming attraction. So your imagination is something that has already been written for you. Your story is in your mind. So write your dreams down, build it, and proclaim it, and ride the Atomy wave, and live the life of your dreams. Again, this is Soo Jin Lee, and thank you so much for listening.